Yo, what's up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and make your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Look, man, I got a really crazy video for you guys today. Really, it's a brand new series, and it's called Stop Ruining Your Vocals. Look, man, I'm going to give you guys specific tips, show you guys exactly what you're doing to ruin your vocals, and show you how to fix it so you don't have to struggle anymore. All right, I'm not even going to overtalk it. We're going to jump right into the track and play it back now. So let's get it.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. I have a ticket lined up in all blues. I really made it for competition. Ain't no other nigga who gon' make me fall. Gucci steppers rocking through the summer, winter, spring or fall.
Alright, bet. So as you can hear, the vocal already sounds pretty good. I went through already and muted the effects. So you see my effects bus is muted, which means that none of my reverbs, none of my echoes, none of my delays, none of that stuff is being heard. Right now, you're just hearing the raw vocal as we recorded it and the beat. And so everything that we've done right now is just volume. So the first thing I'll tell you guys is try and find a decent recording template. If you don't have a template for recording in Pro Tools, check out my free template down below. It's completely free. It handles the complex routing, uses stock plugins. Anybody can use it. It's going to really get you recording and sounding really great right away. So check out my free template. It's completely free down below. All right. So once you have a template, there's a few things you need to do. Let's start at the top. The first track up here you see is the beat. So the first question we're going to ask is, what is headroom? Because that's something that's going to completely kill your mixes and kill your vocals if you don't have any. So headroom is basically, I'm going to show you visibly what headroom is. It's the space between the tops of your waveforms and the loudest peak it can get to. So you can see here at these kicks, there's zero headroom, right? Because it's all the way at the top. It's maxed out the waveform. There's no more space above or below, right? So here we have some headroom, but right here, once the 808s, the kicks come in, we lose all of our headroom in the entire track. So the problem with that is if your beat already has zero headroom, you don't have anywhere for your vocals to go that's not going to distort. Now we record, here where there is no 808s hitting or anything, we don't really have to worry about it. But as soon as we get here where it gets loud and punchy and the good part of the song, that's where we're going to run into headroom issues. So the first thing that you need to do is just turn the beat down. So you can use the trim tool that comes within Pro Tools. I like to use the VMR, and all this is a channel emulation. It's going to make all of my individual tracks sound like they're running through a large mixing console. The benefit of that is it just adds a little bit more continuity. It kind of glues things together a little bit better to my ears. So you don't have to use the VMR. You can use, like I said, the trim plugin that comes stock with Pro Tools. You can use the Waves NLS channel. I think it all does the same thing. But you want to find out a way to turn down your beat. What you don't want to do is grab the volume fader right here and turn the beat down here. Because when you do that, you're actually not decreasing the volume in the overall track. You're just decreasing what we hear. So essentially, if your beat is clipping, if you turn it down here, it's still going to be clipping. The only way to fix it is to use a gain plugin like this trimmer that's going to actually remove some gain from the signal. All right. So keep those things in mind. You definitely want to, number one, turn down the beat so that you can preserve headroom. So look at our vocal recording. Let's listen to it.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. I have a ticket lined up in all blues. I really made it for.
Now let's take it without the beat. So now you can hear nothing's distorted, nothing is clipping, and that's because we've got space. Let's verify because you can see the red lights up here. Let's play it again.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. I have a ticket lined up in all blues. I really made it for.
Yeah, so as you can see, nothing's clipping. We've got plenty of headroom, but the song is still very loud. It's still very punchy. So that's the place you want to be able to get to when you start to mix out your vocals. So let's mute out the beat and let's listen to the vocal and see, look at how much headroom we have. So in the sense of vocals, you want to make sure that you use proper gain staging to maintain headroom. So the second question is, what is gain staging, right? So gain staging in the sense of your microphone is setting the microphone level so that you get a solid signal, but if he decides to get loud, like right here, you still have space so he doesn't clip. You still have space, you still have headroom so that you don't risk distorting your signal and losing a quality take because you didn't have your mic set up properly. So even here, I'm just going through to just show you some of the louder peaks in the vocal, and specifically on the second verse, you can see he gets louder at certain words and certain parts. And if we didn't have our mic properly gain staged, these louder parts would start distorting. And that's a quick way to sound unprofessional, to sound like an amateur, like you don't know what you're doing. So make sure that you gain stage properly in order to maintain headroom. So gain staging works in a different way. Look up here at our recording channel and you can see that the gain, or the volume here, we actually turned it up. Because remember, we don't want to turn, if we turn the volume up or down here, it doesn't affect the signal coming in. Basically, if the signal is clipping coming in, it's still going to be clipping whether we turn this up or down, right? So we're turning this up or down because we've already set our preamp gain to where we want it. So using our preamp and any outboard gear that we have the signal coming in already strong. It's gain staged properly, and there's enough headroom to prevent clipping if the artist decides to get loud. But it still might not be as loud as we want the vocal to sound. And so in that instance, it's better off for us to go ahead and use the volume within Pro Tools and turn things up just at the volume fader rather than trying to add more gain to our mic, because then we're going to record a louder signal. And when we record a louder signal like that, we risk clipping, right? So let's listen to our vocal, no beat or anything, and we can hear kind of where our levels are and how much headroom we have.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. Half a ticket, line up in all blues, I really made it far. Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. Half a ticket, line up in all blues, I really made it far.
Right, so as you can hear, it's a very solid vocal recording. You can hear everything he's saying without the beat playing, of course, but there's no super dramatic jumps in volume. If there are, you probably need to adjust your recording location or your recording position, your mic technique. So we'll get into those things a little bit later in the series, but right now the most important thing is, 1, making sure that you maintain proper headroom. 2, you gain stage so that you can maintain that proper headroom in your vocals. And if you're not hearing it, if you're getting a loud enough recording signal, like you can physically see that it's loud enough and you've got space above clipping, but you're still not hearing it as loud as you want to, come over here to your volume fader and turn it up there rather than adding more gain to your preamp. All right, so those are the major things that are going to make you stumble and fall in recording. If you're not using a good template that's going to kind of get the routing and the things that might trip you up out of the way. You want to get those things out of the way. So go ahead and get it in a template. You already know the tools that are going to be in there. You already kind of know how it's going to sound. It makes things much simpler for you. Then from there, make sure you start to establish some headroom. Your beat 90% of the time is going to be maxed out. It's going to be super loud. So you're going to have to turn it down to some degree. Now, how much you turn it down, that's up to you. I've got videos on how to balance the vocals and beat. I have a free course. Check out the mixing course down below. It'll show you how to balance those things out. And the third thing that you want to do is gain stage your mic properly so that you can maintain the headroom that you've created and ensure that you don't clip or sound unprofessional in your recordings. So let's bring the effects back. Let's listen to how things sound with the effects. Again, this is just straight out of the template, and we turned a couple of things down.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. Half a ticket, line up in all blues, I really made it far. Competition, ain't no other nigga who gon' make me fall. Gucci steppers, rockin' through the summer, winter, spring or fall. Tennis chains.
So cool. As you can see, man, we're doing a lot here, and the song's already getting loud, it's getting punchy, and that's the final tip I have for you guys to really master your recordings. And it's to pay attention to your levels. Make sure that you're using some kind of meter to let you know exactly how loud things are. This is just another indicator of our headroom. We're not at 0 dB, we're not crossing it. We still have some space before we get there, right? So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to all of these things as we record, because it's just going to make the mixing process easier, and really it's just going to make your song sound a lot more professional from the jump. So keep those things in mind, man. Don't sweat it too hard. Make sure that you have fun. Look, these are the tips I'm giving you guys week in and week out. And if you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi, and I'm here for you. Stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. Half a ticket, lined up in all blues, I really made it far. Competition, ain't no other nigga who gon' make me fall. Gucci steppers, rockin' through the summer, winter, spring or fall. Tennis chains hitting on 100 in that phone call. Half a ticket, lined up in all blues, I really made it far. Competition, ain't no other nigga who gon' make me fall.